Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to share with you my spiritual awakening story, so stay tuned. So in 2017, when I moved to the place into mobile area when I was living before in London, I was faced up with all the things that I was suppressing within myself, all the emotions, the thoughts, the things that they were. And soon I started dating, and I realized I was so needy and desperate in my relationships and with the other person. So because I had an abandonment issue within myself, like it often happens in relationship, like the one person abandons the other before, because they deep down they're afraid within themselves, like if I get abandoned by the other person, rather than them doing it, I'll abandon them first. So I did that with the person, and after that I felt like I abandoned myself. And that abandonment thing was coming from my childhood, because I was in boarding schools, I was living away from my parents, and there was a lot of moments and times in my life where I felt neglected, or my emotions were not acknowledged, um, or I felt abandoned in the sense like I wasn't looked after or something. I don't know, maybe we form these meanings and beliefs when we are a child, and it just keeps playing out through our life unless we become aware of it and we become conscious of it. So that time I was like completely lonely since the beginning. Like when I was in school and everything, I always felt like I'm uh, like like odd one out. I never fit in with anyone. I never had any group of friends. I was never involved in groups. I always liked to be alone. I was always alone in the sense that I was always studying, and if I'm going to school, I just study and then come home and then do my thing, and that's all. Um, but yeah, so this was a time when I felt really isolated, and I started doing self-inquiry and studying all the books, as you can see. There's many that I've read previously, and obviously donated as well. So anyways, so what I was saying is, when I started to question things, why the things are the way they are, why am I suffering this way, why there is so much suffering, and why me, I'm a nice person, as everybody thinks who suffers. Like, okay, I'm a nice person, why does this happen to me, or why these things are happening to me? And the pain was unbearable, um, as I was working a full-time job as well, and I couldn't go back home because when kids grow up, sometimes they take new perspective of the world, and then sometimes they can't match up with their parents, and obviously it's called a generational gap as well. But when I was so along with this newfound knowledge of my spiritual awakening, and this first experience of awakening happened to me many years ago as well, when I was a child, but I don't remember consciously for a long time. But soon as this awakening started to happen, I had to go within myself and start to question my beliefs, my behavior, my own cognitive behavior, why I am the way I am. And this started opening up the new world for me. Meditation, journaling, um, doing journaling, and doing this new habits of recording my emotions and thoughts, which are recorded and which I am reflecting to gain understanding about myself. And this has been an amazing journey for me since 2017. Although I wouldn't lie, I felt really alone at times. Like I felt like nobody understood me, and later obviously I didn't let myself create that belief that nobody understands me. uh, don't create this negative belief as well that no one understands you. But if you are like awakening, and you go on your path, you follow your intuition, and you follow this path, and I promise you, you will find the people who vibrates at that same frequency, who thinks the same thought, whose thought patterns are same way, the way you are thinking, the way you are questioning your reality, and the way you are questioning your own beliefs and your own understanding of yourself. So spiritual awakening is a concept of understanding that we are not just this physical body who is perceiving this world through just these five senses. We are so much more than that we can think of, and we are so much more than we can even perceive and realize. It can only happen through non-verbal or non-communication. To know yourself, you have to stop talking and be silent and question, like, who am I? Like, think about in the ways that you are not your job, you are not the name you are not your salary, you are not your income, and you are not your parents that tell you you are. You are not your siblings tell you you are. You are not what your society tells you you are. And this sort of realization makes you more quieter and more self-reflective. This journey for me has begun in 2017 when I started to have this amazing experiences. When I started to question my relative, there was a split in my psychology that this is me and this is my thinking and my observation of myself. So the split happened, and I was like, who is the person that is really suffering here? Like, if the person is suffering, it means there's some sort of identity attached to the self, the big self I'm talking about, SELF, self, that whatever you think you are as identity is suffering, but you who you are is not suffering, because any mental construct or idea of you have of yourself is vulnerable to suffering. So when you let go of that idea, or let go of that identity, or let go of that belief system that you think you are and the way you are being in the world, when you let go of that, you suddenly realize that, okay, I don't need to suffer. I don't need to, being so resistant to my life and, keep fighting everything. There's fighting to everything. And our social conditioning teaches us to fight everything. Whatever we don't like, we like to fight. And this is the reason that it fuels it. It fuels whatever we are fighting. So the key to becoming liberated is not to give your energy to the things that you think fighting them will overcome them. By fighting something you can never overcome them. You can only overcome something by transcending it. When you transcend that, you rise above. When you rise above, then everything else you can just observe from neutral perspective and stop assigning meanings to things and just observe the thing as it is. I cannot explain you how liberating it is for you to just be observant of the situations and the things that are on in your surroundings, in the environment, in the society in general. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. Now, there are various ways to induce spiritual awakening. First of all, you can do is every day sit quietly in a room, or whenever you have 10 minutes free time, maybe in the morning or in the evening, just simply sit down and just observe your thoughts. And soon you will create this spaciousness between your thoughts. The more spaciousness you have, the more consciousness will expand, more awareness will expand, and the more mindfulness you will have. This will keep you more grounded and not reactive to the things and the programs of the unconscious mind. It will help you to break the programming of the unconscious behaviors and unconscious patterns that you have been indulged yourself into, which are unknowingly causing you harm, and you don't realize, like, what am I here to do to make some change in my life? How do I change a certain aspects of my life? And this can only be done when you become aware of your own self. This is why it is said, know thyself. When you know thyself, when you know yourself, how your mind works, how your psychology works, how you function. So first of all, observe your thoughts for 10 to 15 minutes a day. This will help you to expand the spaciousness. It will make you more spacious between your thoughts, and you can observe your thoughts as just birds, that are chirping in your ears, or that are singing in your ears, and you will become aware of yourself. And secondly, meditation, which I already mentioned. This is observing your thoughts is also a part of a meditation and contemplation. But regular meditation practice, simply sitting down and simply relaxing your jaw, your forehead, and activating the central nervous system, the parasympathetic central nervous system, which helps you cope stress, anxiety, your daily day-to-day things that you get stressed out of, or which releases cortisol in your body. Secondly, do that. Thirdly, do some sort of energy moving exercises like tai chi or qigong or things like those and this can also, there are various ways you can do it. You can do yoga, you can do mindfulness, you can do breathing practices, and I keep exploring these things and find what works for me, and this is really amazing. So other than that, I wanted to reflect on the abandonment thing I had with the dating thing. Like I like abandoned the other person, like, okay, this is not working. And I was realizing I was so needy and desperate, and I was like, where is this neediness and desperation coming from? Why am I this way? Why am I wanting someone's approval or validation? Why am I so people pleasing? Why am I pleasing people just to get the validation and the love? There must be a reason, like why I'm not loving myself enough and giving my power to the external situations and the external people, uh, and expecting them to make me feel a certain way rather than me feeling happier on my own. Me exuding peace and calmness within myself, and the certainty of self-love within myself, that I don't need to seek it on the outside. I can give those emotions to myself first, and then I can go out in the world, and then when this is exuding from within me, other people can feel it. Other people can I can be more of value to other people, or in the sense, the people who I really care about. So this was really hard for me, because I was this heartbreak thing I was dealing it on my own, while I was working, and feeling lonely, and I had no friends, but it somehow works out, in the sense that I feel how things were working out to sort of wake me up to the power that is within me, and that is within you, within all of you, um, and realize who we really are, not just this physical body and then this just name. We are so much more than we can think of, and we are all here as a divine beings, spiritual beings. We are having spiritual experiences. We are not human beings having spiritual experiences. We are spiritual beings having spiritual experiences, and we are eternal beings having temporary human experiences here, and our journeys here go on and on and on. We never die. We just change our form from one form to another form, and it's a really liberating feeling, and it makes you fearless, that you realize that there's no point of being afraid of anything, because you are everything. You have the power within you to move mountains and do the things that every person in the history has done. Oftentimes spiritual awakening is triggered by some sort of trauma and some tragedy in life, and this is how it works. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.